What's up everybody, welcome back to the channel, I hope you're all doing well. Let's talk about games of 2019, and more specifically the top 12 games I'm looking forward to checking out in 2019. Now this isn't a definitive list of games, so please don't be offended if I leave a game out that you're looking forward to. If you'd like a more general list of games releasing this year, please let me know in the comments below. With that said, go ahead and hit that like button, and in no particular order, let's get started. Crackdown III. After numerous delays and what has felt like an eternity, it looks like we'll finally get to play Crackdown 3 on February 15th, 2019. I'm trying to get my expectations in check here as the development cycle hasn't been that great for Crackdown 3, but there is a sense of nostalgia. I spent countless nights with friends in Crackdown 1 and 2's co-op campaign, cracking skulls and collecting any and all agility orbs I saw. The recent gameplay footage posted by IGN does look great though, and I hope it can retain the sense of humor and wackiness that made the first two games so much fun to play. Stranding. From Mastermind Hideo Kojima, Death Stranding looks, well, intriguing to say the least. As is the case with most of its games, a heavy emphasis on story and tight, rewarding gameplay are the big draws here. While there hasn't been a whole lot of footage released to the public, the first 2 hours were recently screened at a private meeting with Guerrilla Games, who is providing their Decima engine for Death Stranding, and they were apparently impressed with what they saw. While Death Stranding will potentially release in 2019, the keyword here being potentially, Kojima has never been one to release a product that he feels isn't ready. Hopefully, we'll get to play it sometime this year. The Last of Us Part 2. What can I say about Naughty Dog? They make some of the most polished games that come out, and if going by the gameplay footage of The Last of Us Part 2 is any indication, it definitely takes that to a whole new level. I'm really interested to see here where they go with the story and how they progress the characters from the first game. The Last of Us was one of those few games I've played where you really see the progression of a relationship between two people who couldn't be more different. This is another one that we may or may not see in 2019, but I sure hope we get to experience it this year. Anthem. I'll be the first to admit that I never really got into the Mass Effect or Dragon Age series, but I do enjoy a good RPG that will have me enveloped in a fictitious world for hundreds of hours. By the looks of it, Anthem may be my first real dive into a BioWare game. The setting and gunplay look great, and I don't think I need to tell you that the game looks drop-dead gorgeous. Add in online co-op, and I think it'll definitely be worth checking out when it releases in February. Resident Evil 2. Love it or hate it, and I'm right in the middle, I felt like Resident Evil 4 marked the beginning of the move away from the survival horror genre and into a more action-oriented experience. Thankfully, Resident Evil 7 was a return to form for the series, and Resident Evil 2 follows suit with a reboot, or remake, I'm still not sure, that I didn't know I wanted but absolutely need. If the original PS1 game had an hour counter, I'm pretty sure my mom would have ripped the controller from my fingers and told me to do my homework. The reboot obviously looks far more terrifying, and I'm really not looking forward to getting chased by Tyrant near the end of January. Rage 2. I remember being super hyped for the first Rage game and was probably one of the few handfuls of people that enjoyed it. When Rage 2 was sort of leaked by Walmart back in 2018 and eventually confirmed by Bethesda, the publisher, not the team responsible for Fallout 76, I was ecstatic. When I finally saw a trailer and some gameplay, I was thrilled. It seemed like if the first Rage and Borderlands had a baby, we'd get Rage 2. The wacky sense of humor is back tenfold, along with a revamped art style that sets itself apart from the majority of post-apocalyptic games and their drab aesthetic. I'll definitely be picking it up in May. Days Gone. Days Gone has been on my radar since its announcement. Initially, I honestly thought it was a Last of Us ripoff set in a more zombie-type environment, but the more I see of it, the more I realize it's definitely something very different. Seeing gameplay footage of hundreds of freakers, which are the types of enemies in the game, chasing you while you're trying to take them all out just looked downright insane, especially since there are multiple ways to complete objectives in the game. While the lack of co-op is a bummer, I still want to check it out when it drops in April. Control. Developed by Remedy Entertainment, the team behind Max Payne 1 and 2, Alan Wake, and Quantum Break, Control is a third-person shooter with a supernatural twist. Remedy has always been good with making combat feel fluid and dynamic, and this game looks no different. You'll have supernatural powers like telekinesis and some type of transformative pistol. As with all Remedy games, story will be a big focus here. Hopefully, it doesn't disappoint and we'll get to play it in 2019.
Between static lines.
Doom Eternal. 2016's Doom took me by surprise, as I'm sure it did everyone else who played it. It's nice to see a franchise such as Doom make such a comeback with a game that is a modern take on an old school formula. Doom Eternal looks to take that even further, adding a grappling hook shotgun to its super fun and fast-paced push-forward combat. I mean, who wouldn't want to grapple a demon only to shotgun their face off when you get close? Sign me up. And if the last game was any indication, we can expect a level of polish rarely seen. Hyped. Psychonauts 2. I was and still am a huge fan of Psychonauts. I think I played through it about 5 times on the original Xbox with my Duke controller. Its quirky characters, dialogue, and voice acting really added to the charm of the game, and it was unlike the majority of the games that were coming out in 2005. I even replayed sections of it on my PC recently and it still holds up. Outside of a trailer and a few YouTube videos featuring gameplay by the devs, we don't have a whole lot to go on. Needless to say, I'm super excited for Psychonauts 2. I just hope we get to play it in 2019.
The Mother Lobe has its own way of doing things.
Luigi's Mansion 3. Now you didn't think I'd leave out Nintendo completely, did you? Seeing the trailer for Luigi's Mansion 3 was like a trip down memory lane. I remember I got a GameCube for Christmas one year with Luigi's Mansion, and the next 4 months were filled with poltergust vacuums and a lot of me saying, Mario? Mario. Details about this one are scarce, with only a release date of 2019 listed. Hopefully, we'll see it released this year. Cyberpunk 2077. After playing The Witcher 3, which was my first foray into a world created by CD Projekt Red, they can pretty much take my money with anything they release. The futuristic setting of Cyberpunk 2077 had me from the start, giving me a definite Blade Runner-esque vibe. The combat mechanics look great, and it looks like you'll be able to choose how you want to approach things, guns blazing, stealth, etc. And the arm blades look super cool too. CD Projekt Red said themselves that it hopes to launch in 2019, but they won't be rushed to release. Let's hope we see it sometime this year.
Nice.
And that's all for this one, everybody. What games are you looking forward to in 2019? Let me know in the comments down below, and be sure to hit that subscribe button for more gaming-related content every week. As always, thanks for watching, take care of yourselves, and I'll see you in the next one.